You're inside the press box. Christian FM Sports presents Inside the Press Box, where we discuss all sports from our favorite high school team to college and pro. Here's your hosts, Paul Tipton and Gary Paris.
Well, hey, Vero Nation, thanks for joining us inside the press box. Gary Paris, Paul Tipton here as we get into week one of high school football. We're going to talk about week 0 with the preseason exhibition, the Treasure Coast Kickoff Classic. Vero Beach taking on Miami Norland last Friday night at the Citrus Bowl. It was a great time to be there. Vero Nation showed up, and boy, what a ball game it turned out to be. Gary, it was an interesting ball game in and of itself because, I mean, Vero Beach, man, jumps out to this big lead, and then later on, Miami Norland storms back, and in the end, we walk away with a tie.
Yeah, it's you heard the old cliche in football, Paul. It's the tale of two halves.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first half, you'll see that Vero Beach pretty much dominated with the running game, passing game. Defense made a big stand, and in the first half, you're thinking, my goodness, we look good, and maybe we overrated Norland.
Yeah.
And maybe we think they're off this year. Well, guess what? Second half was a different tale.
Yeah, it is. You know, and I guess, Gary, you know, there's a lot of different ways you could, like, dissect this and try to look at it, and you can go, well, you know, team had rust. They got to get back into the groove, meaning Miami Norland, or, you know, Vero Beach just, you know, got off to a great start, maybe got complacent. I mean, there's a lot of different narratives you could come up with from your vantage point of watching the game. What do you think?
Well, I think, excuse me, I think the thing that impressed me the most in the first half was bad snap. Ball went flying over his head, the punter.
Yeah, talking about Vero.
Vero, yes. Yeah. And we got the ball. They got the ball on the 16-yard line. We held them.
Yeah.
If they could have scored there and they had the ball the second half, my thoughts were this game's going to turn around real quick. But Vero's defense did a great job, and I'm thinking, wow, that is a good first half for Vero Beach defense and Vero Beach offense.
Yeah, Gary, because at that moment, Miami Norland had just scored, made it 20-7. And then Vero takes the next possession, and they end up having to punt the ball away, and then that's when the bad snap happens. Now they're on the 16-yard line with what we would call a very short porch, and thanks to the defense, like you said, they put a stand together. And turnover on downs. Miami Norland decided to go for it. All 4 downs. Couldn't get in. And
it was a great stand.
Yeah. Great
job. And you're thinking, wow, we really came away with a good stand and a great opportunistic time when you know, stopping them right there. And I'm thinking the momentum now will be carried over into the second half. Well, they get the ball, and they show us why the second half they were a runner-up in the state championship game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure, you know, there was a pretty good talk in the locker room from the coaches, a motivational speech of sorts. But also, too, you know, I think for both teams, Gary, I mean, you're coming out of, you know, your camps and whatnot. You've been playing against your you know, offense and defense, and, you know, you really haven't been playing against an opponent that doesn't know your plays, doesn't know your personnel. And so, yeah, there's a moment there probably of like, oh, wow, we're in live fire now. We got to figure this out. And, you know, we saw that on both sides. There, you know, you could see, especially like on the defensive side of both teams, like, there's a little bit of confusion. They're not communicating very well. They're trying to figure it out. And I think in moments you saw both teams put the pieces together, and we saw some great plays.
You take the first half. We had 250 or 60 yards or something, and you can tell me that. And
we had 300 yards of offense.
300 yards of offense in the first half, and they had 80 yards of offense in the first half.
Right.
And so you can say to yourself, well, wow, we dominated. We scored 3 out of 5 possessions in that first half. And I think that sets the tone. Now, who goes and makes the best adjustments at halftime? A lot of times that has a lot to do with the game. Mm-hmm. The outcome of the game is how well you adjust at halftime. I thought Miami New Orleans did a great job of adjusting in the second half. They ran some great counter fakes, and then they would throw the slant in behind the linebacker as he bit in, and they had some big plays down the middle. We were sometimes looked like we were out of position, but I just felt that Miami in the second half played. Their game went to another level.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about this last year, talking about that stretch of maybe the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, and you look at what happened there. All right, Vero Beach puts a good defensive stand together in that last 4 minutes of the second quarter, and you're thinking, all right, we dodged a bullet. But then the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, New Orleans comes out, puts points on the board. Now it's a 20-14 ball game. That dynamic changed in a hurry.
Absolutely, and they moved the ball down, and you and I looked at each other, and during the break, and I said, "Oh, that was too easy. That was too easy for them to just maneuver and they move the ball down like that." And I said, "We got to make some adjustments at that time." Yeah.
It was 7 plays, 80 yards. And a nice 20-yard catch by Strong that basically got, our defense more or less took some poor angles on it, and he got to with his speed, he got to the end zone. So now we're looking at a 20-14 lead for Vero Beach. But you know what? Give Vero credit. They come right back on the next possession, got points out of the possession with a field goal by Swanson.
Yeah, that was a big, big field goal because then with one more score, they're going to have to. They couldn't go for 2 anymore.
Yeah,
they had to go they have a field goal and a touchdown to at least tie us, and we thought it'd be like play overtime normally. But Indians had a decent. I like to think the half of the third and half of the fourth. I thought they played some good football there too, offensively.
Yeah, and this is what we kind of expected. When we got in that third quarter, it just became a punch-counter-punch type of situation. And this is what I think we expected from the start of the ball game. So when we saw Vero jump out to this 20-point lead right off the bat, we're going, wow, I did not see this coming. What we saw in the third quarter into the fourth quarter, I think is really more what we really expected to see in this game.
Well, I was telling you, I said, this is a must-scoring drive. It's like, they're ahead now. They went ahead of us. 23, I think, to...
Well, they got the 23-21. They're ahead.
They're ahead of us at that. And then we get the ball, and I said, it's a must-score for us. And that's when the field goal... we had the touchdown, didn't we? Is it?
Well, yeah, they. So what happened was
I don't have the stats.
We kicked the field goal, and we were ahead 23-14. But then they come right back on the next possession and score the touchdown, and they go ahead 23-21. Then, or excuse me, no, we're still ahead. My bad.
Yeah,
we're ahead 23-21. But then we fumble. Yes. And that was the lone turnover we had in the ball game.
The only one.
And it turned out to be opportunity for Miami New Orleans, and they seized it, and they got a 17-yard reception by Daniels, and now they're up 27-23.
Yep, and then again, it's a must. We must score.
Right.
And we take it down the field and score.
Yep.
And you're thinking now they score, it's going to be a tie ball game. And sure enough, it happened. And then we didn't. We had a shot. We had a shot with seconds left. We drove the ball down the field, got within field goal. Time was not in our favor then, but we took a timeout with 2 seconds left to kick a 30-some-odd, 35-yard field goal. And the young man had plenty of leg. He just pulled it a little bit to the left.
Yeah, and that happens. That's part of the game.
Part of what
the best kickers in the world don't make them all.
Exactly.
So give him credit. I mean, this is a kid that's new to the team, to the school, and he's put in a pressure situation right off the bat. But this is what kickers live for.
He had one earlier. He made it, looked good at it, and but overall, total offense, we had like 550 yards of total offense.
520.
520, and they end up having somewhere around
354.
354, which most of that was in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it just tells you
80 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it just tells you how good they really are and how well they responded themselves, and the changes they made, the adjustments they made. And you got to say, okay, they're good. That was a good game for us because we played a very physical team. We got guys banged up. They got guys banged up too. And so now it's a game where, wow, okay, we learned a lot about each other.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, Gary, because, I mean, obviously you want to go into a preseason game, and really the ultimate goal is to see how your guys are going to perform under the lights against an opponent that doesn't know anything really about you. They don't know your plays. They don't know your personnel. They haven't been working against you for the last couple of weeks, in doing skellies and all these different things with scrimmages and whatnot. And then how do you deal with certain situations? The situational football. How does the strategy play out and all those different things? How do you handle adversity like injuries? We talked about that. We saw Vargas go down. We saw Champ Smith go down. We saw some other guys, dealing with like little, we hope, are just bumps and bruises. We don't know the full report yet on some of these guys, but, some of the indications seem that okay, it's not too serious. And then you see certain things like, what you hope to see. Jonathan Hillsman back on the field for the first time.
Wow.
And what a performance he had. 165 yards of rushing. Got himself a touchdown. In fact, that was one of the helpful scores that ultimately helped us tie up the ball game. He had a great performance.
He played like he was so hungry. Mm-hmm. He'd been away from the game for so long, even this spring.
Year and a half.
Yeah, we didn't even take a shot at getting him hurt in the spring. This young man put on a show. He could run, he blocked. Mm-hmm. You and I saw him pick up a blitz on a blocking situation, and he stepped right up in there and boom, allowed the quarterback Mons to throw the ball downfield. It's amazing to see. He's such a great athlete, good receiver, good route, runs good routes. And he runs beautifully with the ball. He accelerates. He had a little slipping problem, and I think a lot of guys did on that field, the turf, getting used to the cuts in the field itself, both sides, both teams.
Yeah, and a lot of different players. It wasn't just running backs or receivers. You saw a lot of different guys. I don't know if there was something on the turf that night or what, but yeah, it was interesting to watch that for sure. But I agree with you. I mean, it was good to see Hillsman back on the field. He did not show any signs of timidity or anything like that you would go, oh, wow, he's still trying to get over the mental part of getting back on the field. Like you said, picking up the blitzes and then running hard and not slowing down, taking the hits.
We had him, close to 150 yards of
165.
165 in rushing.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Pretty nice performance there. Yeah, it was good to see him.
Welcome back. The thing about the adversities you have in a game like this, when you lose players, you next guy up.
Yeah.
And you want to see how that next guy performs. Mm-hmm. You need to get your people lined up. Find if you got a backup tackle or you got a backup guard, you want to get in the game. You need to do that. That's what it's there for. Get them in there, let them take a look, especially when there's an injury. Then you find out, can he play during the season as a backup, as a starter?
You know what I also liked about with Hillsman, too, we talked about, he hasn't played an actual football game for over a season and a half. His conditioning looked great.
Oh, he is stronger. He is bigger than he was when he was a junior.
Yeah. He took the bulk of the snaps Friday night. And we saw a lot of other guys on both sides down with cramps, dealing with the heat and, obviously
was hot.
Not hydrated enough.
It was hot.
But he looked great.
He was in great shape. You're right. And it was great to see him back out there just because his last play was he never played as a junior. He never got a snap as a junior.
Right.
And here he is back out there. To me, I love watching him because he's having fun.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's always wanted to do.
Right.
And he took those hits and he got back up.
Yeah.
He got himself back up. And he made a slip one time, and I thought, oh my goodness, his knee like that.
Right, yeah.
It buckled, but it wasn't. It was sliding. He slipped, got his balance, and then accelerated for 6-7 more yards.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was
really good.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, he's back.
Yeah. No, it was really good. There's so many aspects of this game, Gary, that were very fascinating to me. I mean, obviously, Champ Mons, he looks solid. I mean, he was, 20 of 30, had over a couple hundred yards. 275 in passing, had a couple touchdowns. His deep ball looked awesome. His accuracy was on pinpoint. He was good last year. But there were things that you saw that you go, okay, there's areas for improvement. He even would tell you that, and you saw it.
He had a drop pass for a touchdown.
Yeah,
one of the receivers just hit him right in his hands, and he couldn't bring it in. And that was a pass. I said, "Wow, that's the one that you, as a receiver, you want." You're the only one that's going to catch that one. And that ball was right in, you had your chance to catch the ball, and that receiver was very upset with himself, as he should be. But Mon went over to him and just said, hey, we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it again. We'll get another shot at it. He's a leader. He's a sophomore, and he is a team leader out there, right? That's what I like about the young man. He takes responsibility upon himself, and he's not afraid to run the ball when he needs to. His eyes are downfield looking for the receivers downfield before he takes off and runs. He's only a sophomore, but there are a lot of guys that would love to play like this as a senior.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Absolutely would. 5 different receivers caught balls, multiple balls actually, Gary. 2 is the minimum number of receptions for a receiver on Friday night. 7 was the high mark, and that was for Marcus Melbourne, who is just becoming more and more of a force.
He's a junior, and he stepped up, and I tell you what, to get that field goal opportunity, when he caught, he took a shot at the end of the game. He took it, he got knocked down. He held on to the ball.
Yeah.
And he got himself back up. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
He put us in a position to win the game.
Yeah.
We needed a big play on 3rd down.
And we got it.
We got it. We had our shot to win the game. Beautiful throw by Mons. A great route, great catch by Marcus. He's, when you get to know these kids like we do, you know what makes them tick.
Yeah.
What makes them tick. And these guys are ballers. They know how to play. They play the game hard.
They do. I was really interested to watch, Gary. We knew on the offensive side, when you had basically, 9 guys coming back on the offense that were, starters last year, you knew, okay, this has got an opportunity to be a special season offensively speaking. And, they lived up to it on Friday night. Look, you start out the game, you're targeting Stinson. And, he only had 2 receptions, but one of those being a touchdown. And he showed at moment.
What a fantastic catch
he made.
His athleticism
right before halftime. Yeah.
Yes, right there. He goes up in between. High. Right. Grabs the ball. Unbelievable. I thought it was our play of the game because I thought that was such a great athletic play.
It was, and there were some other targets to him early in the ball game, but this is what I love. Okay, so you got Stinson on the stat sheet. He's only got 2 receptions. Now he was targeted more than that. Then you see if the defense adjusts. Then you get E.J. White involved into the ball game. He ends up with a couple of receptions. He was targeted more. Then you got Marcus Melbourne, who we just talked about, who led the team with 7 receptions. Then you got Trey Woods, who got 6 catches for 66 yards. Could have had another one. Should have maybe had another one. Would have been a touchdown for sure. And then you got Jonathan Hillsman coming out of the backfield. To me, I love this because it's like, okay, you can't just double up on one guy. you got to. Mons is spreading the ball around, and guys are being productive.
One thing you ask your quarterback to do is to read the coverage. How fast can you pick up the coverage you're in? They've got, and this one we have Mons is absolutely quick about finding his coverages.
Yep.
His progression, he goes from 1 to 2 and to 3.
Mm-hmm.
He steps up in the pocket, throws the ball so well, so high, and that when he releases it, it's coming at you. And when I say high, I mean a high release. He's up there, he's letting it go, and he has a skill set that you just don't see in quarterbacks.
Right.
It's hard enough to find a senior to do that,
yep.
let alone a sophomore do that. And all those receivers know that he can throw the ball,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to get it closer. Now, he threw some overthrows in the beginning. He had wide open receivers. He had, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And he walks over to the guy and pats him, says,
yeah.
"That's my fault.
Yeah.
You were open. I should have hit you.
Yeah.
Instead of overthrowing you." And that's a sign of a good quarterback.
Absolutely is. Just to kind of put a bow on this particular game, Gary. I mean, we haven't talked a lot about the defense. I mean, we talked about the defensive stand, but I think there were moments where they looked really good. There were moments where they got exposed on some things, and I think the coaches are going to have an opportunity now this week to really showcase that. And now guys are going to be paying attention because, you go through these, summer workouts, fall camp and all that, and I think sometimes it just becomes noise to the players. I mean, look, if you're hearing the same thing over and over and over and over, eventually you're going to tune that out. I mean, let's be real for a minute. But I think now that you've got film, you've been in live fire, now all of a sudden the alarm clock has gone off and it's time to wake up.
I think you'll see with Bill Modem is the discipline that he demands from his defensive backs and
mm-hmm.
linebackers and linemen. You need to be where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be at somebody else's territory because you're out of position
right.
and you're over there and they pick it up. They see you doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of playing disciplined football,
yeah.
being in the right place where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And I think sometimes you, as a player, you want to make plays, and sometimes you'll drift. You think you're in the right place,
yep.
but you're out of your zone or you're out of your place, mm-hmm. and the teams will take advantage of that.
Yeah, and then, again, special teams, another aspect of the game. And I thought, obviously we made a field goal, had an opportunity to win the game with another field goal. But even on the kickoffs, I mean, seeing the ball, Swanson was kicking the ball deep. A lot of times was going into the end zone 2, 3 to 7 yards.
Yep.
Touchback. Man, that makes life easy for coverage when you can do that.
It does. I mean, when you can kick the ball, get the ball to the end zone, automatically comes out to the 20. That means they got to go 80 yards.
Right.
So that means, and you like your defense on situations like that. The odds are with you.
All right, now, GP, now we turn our attention to week 1. Yep. We've got Eau Gallie at the Citrus Bowl, and we're familiar with this team. We went up there last year, lost in a tough one. Felt like we got maybe kind of hosed on.
Oh, we got robbed.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
They ended up 12-2. They lost to Miami Northwestern 40-0 last year in the playoffs. But this is a good team.
And they were in the Final Four.
Yeah, they are ranked number 46 in the state, according to Max Preps. We're at number 45. So you expect this one to be a tight.
It'll be a tight game. And again, they're playing it down here. They're well coached. I think their coach is Sands is his last name, or Sanders, whatever it may be. But he's been there about eight or 9 years, Paul, and he's built a program
mm-hmm.
in Eau Gallie.
Yeah.
And he's got kids now from other schools. Usually most of them go to Cocoa.
Right.
If you're going to go, like, if you want to play on a state championship team, you go to Cocoa. And Cocoa's always going to be loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Snyder, the coach there, we'll see him in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And but we got Eau Gallie who got a bunch of kids in, too. Mm-hmm. It's a good team. He thinks they just reloaded. They're not rebuilding. They're reloading for another season like they had last year. That's the feeling they have. And I was reading an article on them, and that they really feel that they got a team that compete again this year.
Well, and that's become the trend now, Gary, is like the teams that have been successful or at least appear to be successful, are the ones that are going to get the transfers in the most. And so Eau Gallie had a very successful season last year, 12-2. They were in the playoffs, had an opportunity maybe to go for a state title, came up short against Northwestern. A lot of people do. So everybody around that area is looking and going, that's a good school. I want to go there. I got a chance to maybe, play for a winning program, maybe go for a state title. Scouts are going to be around. I might have an opportunity for college. So, yeah, that's how this works now.
And you're right. They will be, as well as this is what I call the toughest month of the year for us, because the first 3 games of the season in September. Even though this is August, we got.
Well, I would count the preseason game too. I mean, let's just go.
Well, we knew Norland was gonna be a good team,
right?
But win or lose, nobody's gonna. You don't remember those games as much as you do like a Gallie, Buchholz, Cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
There's your 3. You remember last year we started the season off with 3 very, very tough games.
Yep.
Matter of fact, we had a Gallie, and we didn't play Cocoa, though, last year.
No, we played Homestead.
We played Homestead, and we had Buchholz, and people were like, wow, we lost 3 games. What kind of year Bureau's going to have? Well, after that, they won 8 straight games.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you play good teams.
Yeah. We
played a good team the other night. I mean, I was really impressed with Norland in the second half of the game.
Yeah.
And they showed me why they were they finished and they lost in the semifinals or the finals. They're a good team. We're going to play a Gallie who's a solid team. Well coached, well disciplined. They do on defense. They don't give up a lot of big plays, but that's the reason they won 9 games last year.
Yeah. No, they're good. Yeah. It's a good team. Actually, 12
games. 9 regular season games.
But,
yeah.
Unless there's some
some
forfeits about that I don't.
They won 9 regular season games last. They were 9-1 in the regular season.
Yeah. And
then they lost in the
I think it was the semifinals. Yeah.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
So be prepared to play a good team.
All right. Well, that game is going to be at the Citrus Bowl. Kickoff 7:00. Our coverage will begin at 6 p.m. with Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Cap's Pizza. And, oh, by the way, for those of you who like to watch on our YouTube channel, we appreciate you watching. We'll let you know, a little footnote here, that this year, in order to watch the games live, you'll have to join the membership. There is a fee involved. I'm just going to let you know that ahead of time. So check that out before Friday if you can, and make sure to get that set up so that, if you want to watch the games through our YouTube channel, you'll be able to do that without any interruption. All right, Gary Parrish, Paul Tipton, we're inside the press box. We'll see you Friday night. As always, go Indians.
Thanks for joining us inside the press box. For more, go to ChristianFM.com.